All right, APE students, Mr. Adair here. How are you guys doing? Hopefully the first day is going okay for you. I thought I would go through the very first PowerPoint and kind of explain what I expect you to do so you can get off to a good start with your Unit 0 packet. So as you see up on my screen right now, I have the point one PowerPoint for the first day, and I also have the packet. I printed mine out as well, and you guys could do that or just do it digitally is fine. But just for today, I think I'm gonna try to make mini videos that go through the PowerPoints or short videos that go through the PowerPoint that you can follow along with to help clarify things. But with that being said, in a lot of cases, it might be easier for you just to go through the PowerPoint on your own. These PowerPoints were designed to be in class, so I do have some teacher notes on them that I might not always show you guys if I need you to, solve a problem or something like that. Anyhow, yep, you're in environmental science. The very first screen is a video. Now, another thing is I'm trying to make sure the videos are easy for you guys to access. I will try to always put the URL on the page where the video is as well in case you have trouble just connecting to it and going right to it. If you download the PowerPoint, it should work because, for example, here's the PowerPoint. This is a quick introductory video that goes through um, a bunch of different of the kind of extreme things that are happening on our Earth. And I'll let you watch that. Now, this very first page, you don't really need to do anything right now with the video. I kind of made a little mistake. It says topics from the intro video. I meant to say topics from the headlines of the articles that we're going to get to. But either way is fine. There's really no wrong answer for that very first part. It's just brainstorming um, things that are happening. And we'll get to that in a moment. So, as far as the PowerPoint goes for day one, here's a picture of planet Earth, the very first picture of Earth taken from space. And a lot of times I start with this picture for this class because it's quite phenomenal when you think about it. Our small blue planet floating in the universe, and how, when you look at it from this perspective, it's quite delicate. And I think for me, it makes me feel that, um, in a way, that our Earth is, fragile, and in the huge uh, picture of the solar system and the universe, it's just this tiny blue dot that all of this reality takes place on. And it kind of gives a unique perspective for me on like how we should take care of the planet. Here's another picture, just um, from, it doesn't show pollution, it just shows a different cloud cover, and you can see that it is again quite an astonishing image. All right, so for the first task you need to do today um, is kind of fill out this brainstorming front page from these articles. So we're going to go through a few different headlines of articles, and I'll go through them quick because you can look at them on your own. But I want you to make a few different connections here. So there are these images on your packet, like the light bulb, the recycling circle, there's a image of a bug, of a graph, clouds, food, electricity, toxins, energy, planet Earth. They're just general, very vague pictures of things that could be happening. I want you to kind of make connections to a really important acronym that I'm going to, again, talk about a million times, but mentioning the very first day, which is the acronym HIPCO, HIPPCO. Now, for the AP test, and just to know how humans are impacting the Earth, you can hopefully refer to this acronym um, really quickly and just have some go-to answers. So the H stands for habitat destruction, the I for invasive species, the P for pollution, the second P for population growth, human population growth, C for climate change, and the O for overexploitation of resources. So the very first headline says MRIs are poisoning the environment with toxic metal. So potentially you could just make some connections, or maybe in There's the picture of the skull and crossbones that can maybe represent toxicity to you. So maybe you want to write MRI there. And so MRI, what they mean in this is literally the magnetic resonance. Why can't I think of the acronym right now? That they use to take pictures of your brain. Or for me, when I had knee surgery last summer, they had to take MRIs of my knee, and to get a picture of what's going on. But yeah, these machines can have toxic metals that when they're released in the environment, they can cause problems. So maybe that goes under the skull and crossbones. Maybe you put that in a different spot because you just see a different connection. There's no wrong answers. Um, Goodbye snails. So maybe you were talking about planet Earth here, the disappearance of species. Put it in wherever you want or not at all. This is just, again, for you to make some connections on what's actually headlines, real headlines that are happening in the world, that are up to date. And we're going to talk a lot about species extinction and what that means. So there's maybe not a great image of habitat destruction. Maybe you want to use planet Earth as habitat destruction, which is one of the main reasons, species are disappearing. A scientist witnessed poachers killing a chimp. How climate change could trigger the next global financial crisis. August 1st, 2019. A single male cat's reign of terror. Russian land of permafrost and mammoths is thawing. So maybe climate change, thinking about things like that. How hot was July? Hotter than ever, global data shows. So again, climate change. Algae blooms. And I'll let you guys go through these. So these are kind of doom and gloom headlines, right? They're not the most fun thing to look at and think about when we're thinking about planet Earth, the Earth that we need to live on, that tiny blue planet that I just showed you. But as we go through, and again, you guys will look at those, one of the main things in this class that I want to focus on is, and we'll do it towards the end of the year, is to provide some hope and how humans can turn it around. And it's not just a complete doom and gloom scenario about how humans are impacting the Earth. There's a lot of interesting things. And as you guys decide to go to college, maybe become engineers, scientists, all sorts of the different careers you have, you will be part of the solution. Renewable energy is increasing exponentially right now, and the technological advances are quite incredible. Wind turbines. So whether if you're into software development, maybe you can design an app that, like for example, this person was able to expose the worst polluters in China in this case. And I'll let you guys kind of go through this, but saving the habitat, gas plant constructions makes history by moving 30,000 native animals to safety. So some companies are doing good things in a way. How Argentina is saving one of the Earth's most remote places. California building a non-plastic future. And again, I'll let you guys kind of go through this. In class, we would talk about these more, and we will talk about them more, even though we're doing distance learning. Okay, so this very first page, the one I have up here, show you, just make some connections related to maybe good things and bad things. You can write as much as you want on this packet. It's kind of, I will grade you on the packet, but it's also for your own benefit. All right, then the second thing, page 2. You're just going to take a survey, but let's get to that in a minute. There are many interesting things about AP Environmental Science, but one thing that I think is fascinating, which makes it a difficult course to teach, and it also makes it a difficult course to learn all the information, is that we're really drawing on content from many different disciplines. And this environmental science wheel kind of shows you the different things that go into this idea of environmental science. We're going to talk about ethics, the moral right or wrong thing to do. Ecology, the study of how living and non-living things interact. Biology, the study of life. Chemistry components, a ton. Um, Really, it's so interconnected with biology and chemistry and geology when we look at these big issues. Atmospheric science, oceanography, geology, anthropology, archaeology, sociology, history, political science, and engineering and economics as well. So many different things kind of go into this course, which is why it is so interesting. And in my opinion, humble opinion, I'm a little bit biased, the most important class you'll take in high school, because we're living at this time where, the environment is really pushed to the most extremes. Okay, so the next thing you need to do is, and this is what we're going to talk about in our Google Meet later this week. It's one of the things, and we're still trying to figure out a way for you guys to do small groups with the Google Meet, and hopefully we'll figure that out and get that dialed in so you can do that. Do the survey, then choose 3 of the more controversial statements and explain your position on them below. So that's what you need to do for day 1. We'll talk about this on our Google Meet, and I will have another very short video going through day 2 tomorrow. Some of the videos may not come out till the day of, and if you don't see a video for that specific PowerPoint, that means that you just can go through it on your own without me walking you through it. But again, I wanted to get everyone started off on the right foot, so hopefully that was helpful, and we'll go from there. Thanks.